Girls, welcome to another live post-game show. Not the result we wanted, but the sky is not falling. It's another live edition of the Highbury Squad. Here we go, kids.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Highbury Squad's live Arsenal v Liverpool post-game show. If I can get rid of this picture, that would be amazing. Although, look at that, isn't that beautiful? Welcome, everyone. For those of you listening on replay, welcome and hope you've had a wonderful day. Joining me back in the studio is my epic bro. You've seen him in the show Total Bellas, Total Divas. Our Arsenal entrepreneur, Mr. JJ Garcia. Welcome back, mate.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me again. Always love being here. So
you are looking lean, mean,
thank you.
fighting machine. What is happening?
I had some stuff going on in my life. I took it all out in the gym. So
nice.
I feel great, and yeah, it feels good to get in that gym. Arsenal at the beginning, we had a lot of frustrations to take out. I don't need to do it so much now with the run, but it's
right. Well,
yeah,
you're looking fantastic, mate.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely smashing it. Good evening, squaddies. Welcome to the show. At ease, everyone. Super Kev will probably be here a little bit later on. And if not, of course, we're going to talk about the game with him tomorrow, where we welcome another fan favourite, film director and Star Wars guru and expert, Mr. Carl Newman, will be in the house with us tomorrow night. So hello, everybody. Look, I sent out a tweet, JJ, saying different class, different energy, different level, different gear. This is probably one of two of the best teams in the world right now. You could argue Chelsea, having just won the Club World Cup. You've got Manchester City. I don't think anyone, even Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, I'm not sure they're as good as City and Liverpool. But it just shows you that after a great first half and playing the way we did, it's only so long before a team like that breaks you down in the second half, because we just don't have the same quality. What were your thoughts on the first half and that transition to the second half?
Well, yeah, I mean, we came out lights out. Or no, we didn't come out lights out, actually. We came out pretty slow. Then we turned lights out, owned the first half. That's no question. We had to keep that momentum coming out right at the second half. And you felt they tried, but the second we made, Ramsdale made a mistake. He doesn't make many. And that was 100% his fault. I know he'll own it. We put so much energy in that first half, I think that just deflated us as well. And we went flat-footed. You heard the crowd got a little quiet. And you just cannot do that against Liverpool, a City. You do that against a lower table team. Sure, you come back, you'll get that goal. We've done it this year. We've seen Arsenal do it. You can't do it to Liverpool. You can't make those mistakes. We just put too much energy in, and it just deflated us, I felt. And we got very flat-footed, and yeah, we just put our heads down, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, because I think in the first half, for a little bit, both teams played like they didn't want to lose. There was a lot of caution, right? And I think that took Liverpool by surprise, in the sense, Danny Higginbotham said it at the halftime show, I think, too. He said, I think both teams surprised each other with the way they approached the game. But I thought that we showed these moments that we haven't shown in previous seasons, and under Arteta, it's really evident that, we've definitely got a little bit more gusto in us. We've got that fight in us. But I thought, and I don't know what you think, JJ, that I thought we did all the things right in terms of that first line of defense and keeping them at bay and maybe winning some of those second balls. But when it came to our quality in the final third, other than Martinelli, it just wasn't there tonight.
It wasn't at all. It was, I mean, when you have chances, like the chances we had against Liverpool, you have to put them away. That's it. And I get it. Great save by Alisson on Odegaard. Great save. You still got to put it away. You have to put that away in a game like this. And again, we're a young squad. They're going to learn. They're going to learn all about that. Lacazette wasn't at his best today. I think we could have got a little more out of him. But they just, I mean, you saw Martinelli was the best player on the pitch without a question. And even at the end, he missed that, where he put it to the right corner and he missed it just wide. And that was just the name of our game, unfortunately. As you said, couldn't finish in the third half or the third part. So
it was so, and we'll go through the player ratings now. I just want to give you guys some stats, right? So Arsenal had 9 shots, Liverpool had the same. We had 2 on target, they had 33. The possession was kind of evenly split, almost 52 to them, 48 to us. Passes, they had 518. JJ, we had 520. Accuracy, not much between us, 80%, 82 to them. 9 fouls each, 1 yellow card for them. I wanted to ask you, 4 offsides for us, 2 for them, and they had 6 corners, and we only had 1 corner tonight, which was really, just not good enough in terms of being able to put them in that position to win that ball, to get that set piece. What's your take on Mane? I don't want to complain about anything, right? We lost to a better team tonight, but I'm not going to sit here and berate the team for the loss, because this is a massive lesson in learning once again. We knew the gulf between us going in, but then also when you go in and play the way you did, you're literally 5 or 6 players away from being competitive at that level. But I wanted to ask you, Mane, as much as I admire him and I revere him as a player in terms of what he's done in the game, and especially what he does off the pitch and his demeanour off the pitch, he is one dirty player that gets away with everything.
Yeah, and also he's playing against Arsenal, so we'll never get calls. He is very dirty, and he's getting dirtier because he's losing a step. And that's what actually I was just started talking about with some of the guys I was watching the game with, that you could tell he's losing a bit of his step, which, he's getting a little older. That happens to us, right? So I think he's sort of finding those ways to get fouls or whatever. He plays a dirty, he does. You said he's a dirty player. He's getting dirty. And he dove at the beginning. Come on. He didn't get touched. I see the foot went in. You can say you're avoiding foot. He straight dove. That's a card in the 5th minute. The yellow card, it should have been, I thought, and maybe people disagree with me, but he's just looking for advantages in other ways than taking on players with the ball.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Right, let's get into the lineups and our guys. Listen, this one's a tough one because we've all fallen in love with the player, and sometimes these things happen. Our good friend at Toffee TV, Ped, was saying same thing has happened to Pickford, right? You laud a British goalkeeper so much that when they make a mistake, it's like the sky is falling. I don't want to forget about the heroics in the Leicester game, in the Spurs game, and of course in the Leicester game where he had Brendan Rodgers clapping for him. JJ, what's your mark for Rambo tonight? You can't get beat on your inside post there, but also I think Cedric could have done a little bit better on the first ball there. What's your mark for Rambo?
Yeah, I mean, he had really one mistake. Obviously, it's costly. Costs a goal, but he still had a decent game. I mean, I give him a 7. The one mistake, I mean, he would have been. Obviously, there's no goals. He's getting a 9 to 10. I mean, he did everything right. Unfortunately, that was a costly mistake. So maybe like a 6, I guess, because that angle.
You give him a 7. You're the one getting ripped on the near post in a minute.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, wait. So yeah, more like a 6. That was his one mistake. I mean, Firmino's goal, that was just a beautiful touch. I mean, that's not his fault. Saka shouldn't have given that ball away. They're trying to keep it in. He should just put it out of bounds and let us reset. So it is, I guess, like a 6. Again, he had a decent game. That angle, he needed to be covering that near post even more. And if he wasn't, he still should have made that save.
Yeah.
So I'll go 6.
Yeah, I mean, in the first half, he made a great save from Van Dijk from the corner. That was a good one. But kind of based on what we've seen and what we know, and he's been such a hero for us this season, I'm going to give him a 5 because he's going to be mad at himself. And watch, he will come out and say, I should have done better on that first goal. And when you look at it, the sub, Jota then gets immediately subbed. Salah and Firmino come on, and within 10 minutes we lose that game. So it wasn't his best. So unfortunately for him. Okay, let's go to Kieran Tierney, everybody. Let's talk about Tierney, a player who has come under fire a little bit of late. JJ, I think we all love him. He's a warrior. He's a leader on the pitch. He definitely is somebody that is beloved by Arsenal fans. I actually felt like this was one of the better games I'd seen him and Martinelli play together. But what's your take on Tierney's performance today?
He started out amazing, but I think he sort of lost it a little bit. I saw Martinelli was just sort of by himself for a while. I feel like he's passing to him, just not really overlapping. He's just sort of let him take on the players because, I mean, Martinelli was doing amazing doing that. But I think he got a little heavy legs. I mean, I'd probably give him like a 6 on this. I feel like he just got tired on us. And unfortunately, he's getting tired, heavy legs, and then you bring Salah in to go against him. But I didn't see the crosses. I don't know. He did defensively well. I just didn't see him more on the offensive side really helping out as much as I would want.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think it's 6 for me.
I think it's very difficult to have the overlapping runs when you're playing a team like Liverpool because you can get really exposed. But seeing how much, and we'll get to Martinelli, how he had Trent Alexander-Arnold in his pocket, I felt like maybe we would take a little bit more of a risk. But of course, with Liverpool, when you take that risk, you can be punished severely and very, very quickly. The commentator here, Arlo White, you heard him, right? In the second half, he goes, "Are you guys surprised by how slow Liverpool are playing?" And then boom, within 3 seconds of him saying that, they scored a goal. And it was their slowest, probably their slowest build-up play of the season in terms of a goal. So, yeah, I hear you, Dalbir, but I think it was very difficult. I don't know if he struggled against Diaz. I don't think that's fair. I actually think in the first half, he had Diaz a bit in his pocket as well. What happened in the second half, Liverpool just changed. The energy changed. And I think that they came out with the absolute mission to win in the second half. They played it safer in the first half and then came out to win in the second half. So, All right. How about Gabriel for you?
Oh, I mean, he did. I thought he did great. He's going to be that 7-8 area. He did his job. I mean, he was clearing it. There's no mistakes, which we know. Obviously, we know. Unfortunately, from I believe it was 2 weeks ago that he had that one mistake for us, which we came back and won the game. He was steady. Did nothing special, but made no mistakes. And I'll take that from a center back all day. So I'll go with an 8 actually, or 7. Let's go 7.
Yeah, I thought where our centre-backs struggled tonight was a little bit of a different twist from Liverpool, and the squaddies will correct me if I'm wrong, all 400 of you in live chat. Thanks so much for joining us. I said to Kev last week, JJ, that when Gabriel has a bad game, White tends to have a good game and they make up for it, and vice versa. When White has a bit of a dodgy game, Gabriel's the one there to kind of be the sweeper and clean things up. And I thought in our last game against Leicester, Ben White was superb. Gabriel wasn't that great. And tonight the roles were reversed. I agree with MK from our Arsenal Los Angeles group here. I thought he cleaned up a lot of mess. And one of the things that I found that we ran into a pickle about tonight, very different for Liverpool, is the over-the-top balls. And those were the balls that we played against them in the Community Shield when we played them. The over-the-top ball, the goal from Aubameyang. And we did that against them in Project Restart a couple of times, which is where we had found success. So it was a little bit disappointing to get caught the way we did, but I'm going to go with a 7 as well for Gabriel. And a lot of people saying he did good. But did you see who was always near him? Yeah, it's not that easy. Who ate all the pies? You did, Sophie. I don't know what that means. Are you saying I look fat tonight? I mean, I don't know what that means, because that is what that means. Who ate all the pies? Oh, you mean the humble pies. Right. No humble pies tonight. Oven's gone down a notch. We got Aston Villa to come. We got Crystal Palace to come. We got West Ham. We got Man United. We got Chelsea. We got the North London Derby. It's not going to be easy. So humble pie is, Okay, now you guys are getting crazy. Hilarious. Okay, so how about Benjamin White for you tonight?
Yeah, he's gonna be a step below Gab. He'll be like that 6, that 5-6. He's a little lazy for me today, actually, to tell you the truth. I didn't see that fiery bend that we usually have. We really could have used it. Shouldering guys, get in their face. I know that just beating everyone to the ball. I love when he's fiery and chatty. I think that feeds into his game. And you just didn't see it. He was just sort of flat-footed. And again, I guess, as you say, maybe he saw that Gabriel was just sort of stepping up, and he sort of felt like he could step back. And we don't want that. We want both obviously playing great. So yeah, I'd probably do like that 6-5.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game for him. He got caught. He was the one who was really getting caught with the over-the-top ball. I thought he was a little flat-footed tonight. He wasn't his in-your-face self. You know, sometimes what I want to see from our players is I love the shithousery that he has about him. And I think I don't know if it was West Ham or a West Ham group that said the most annoying player in the Premier League right now. And it was a video of Ben White giving like players shit and stuff like that. And I love that. That's what I want for our defenders to have, JJ. You know what I mean?
Right. No,
but I want to see them do that fearlessly and not be intimidated by Liverpool.
Correct.
You know, and Man United and Man City and Chelsea. You know, that's what I would have liked to have seen from Ben tonight. Because let's be honest, Liverpool have a lot of shithousery in them too. Look at Mane, right?
Oh yeah.
So he was. I don't know if you were watching a different match, but for me, I felt like he also, when he was bringing the ball out the back today, got caught in possession a couple of times. So yeah, good evening Singapore, and to everyone wherever in the world you might be. Thanks for joining us. Arsenal Misfit here gives White a 6. Yeah, I think he was the weak link at the back today. And I tell you, this is what Kevin and I have been talking about, guys. I'm going to get to this. I'm not blaming Cedric for much tonight at all. So we've gone from Gabriel to White, and now we have Cedric. But we did say, JJ, that eventually certain games will catch up with us. You know, the quality as you go on. Is he going to be able to sustain that type of form over and over? What was your take on Cedric tonight?
Yeah, he had some bright spots, and obviously I felt some mistakes in the back. You know, it's a tough task. I mean, how I look at it is we're talking about a backup defender. This is not our starter. And I know he's put in the position as a starter, but I still have that in my mind. Like, okay, it was Tomiyasu. I'm going to grade this a little different. I'm at like a 6 for him. I guess that goal, he could have recovered a little more on the second goal. But I don't know. He didn't do
the second goal. Do you feel? I thought that was more Saka's fault than.
I think it was, but I think I'm trying to remember. I feel like he sort of reacted late to it. Right. I think he could have gotten better position where Saka's running out to the ball. Again, Saka should have kicked it out, but I think he could have probably not been so flat-footed and got himself in better position to get in his position, and then he would have been there to defend. It's obviously very easy for me to say that right now. I'm not on the pitch, you know, to be fair. Yeah. I'm in that 5-6 range for him. We could go 5. He had some bright spots, but again, I think we clearly know this cannot be our starting right back. It's that simple.
Yeah, and I think that we know that. Look, you know, again, Liverpool are a superb team. They have world-class players in a lot of different positions. I think Cedric definitely. I think. Personally, if I gave Gabriel a 7 and Ben White a 6, I should give them both a 6. And I thought Cedric was the best thing about the back line today, to be honest with you.
Oh, right.
I thought that he was tenacious. I thought that he made an effort in every regard. He kept Diaz super quiet, who has lit up the Premier League since he has been there, especially in the first half. And I just don't think that Saka was on. So Cedric had to make up for a lot of Saka's deficiencies today. And when he's being asked to step in, when, you know, he knows that Tomiyasu's the darling and Arsenal fans' favourites, and he's been so great since he's been there, I think that he deserves like a solid 7 today. And I can't imagine it's hard for him stepping into that position. Okay, let's get to the midfield, kids. Let's start with Xhaka. Xhaka, can you hear me? I always like putting this picture up of Xhaka and Arteta and Thomas hugging and stuff like that. What was your take on Mr. Xhaka today?
I mean, if people know me, they know I'm not the biggest fan of this guy. He played well there, I thought. I thought he did decent today. And again, these games are where I fear him most, when they do have speed, you know, like a Mane or those. Like, if him and Mane one-on-one, we know he's going to get a red card. We know he's diving in, hitting an ankle, and there's going to be a red. But he did his job well. I mean, he's passing nothing too flashy, just did what he was supposed to do today, I felt. I mean, I'd give him a 7, honestly. I was actually saying that. It's like he did what he was supposed to do today, I feel. And I'm trying to think. I can't remember really any two mistakes. Maybe like one bad pass back that nothing came up of it, is like short or something. But I think I'm also used to some pretty big mistakes by this guy, and we didn't have any of those today, which is great. So, but yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, and again, it's the example for me, and it's so funny. Maximus, fans like Sophie hate acknowledging a different opinion. Really, I can't wait for all you clowns with confirmation bias to finish 8th with this bang average manager. I don't know where you've been, but I've absolutely killed this manager for the first season and the second season, and losing the Europa League semi-final to the manager that he actually replaced. But I am also a realist, and I'm honest about what I see. And if you can't see that this Arsenal team improved from the 4-0 drubbing that we got against Liverpool, and that, you know, had Odegaard put that shot away and we're 1-0, what does that game look like? Oh, is he? I don't. It's so busy in the chat. Thanks, Robots Willie you. By the way, great name. I don't think that people realize sometimes you also have to say what you see. And as disappointed I am as we lost, JJ, the difference since we lost to them 4-0, you can't sit here and say there's been no improvement. And still we're without Tomiyasu. I love Lacazette, but we miss like a prolific striker. Saka looked exhausted today. Maybe you could say that he should have been subbed earlier, but there has been an improvement, has there not?
Oh, huge improvement. I've been a big Arteta fan myself, and even when people were saying Arteta out, I always wanted to keep him because I'm just big on, first off, you need to give a manager a couple of years. I'm over this whole new thing. Like 1 year you're in and it's not good, you're out. Like you got to let them, you know, get their process in, correct? So, and he's proven it to us. I mean, he is proving he's going to be a top manager. Everyone could quote me, and if he's not a top manager in 3 years, y'all give me hell. But I think he's going to be a top manager. He sees the game, you know, and again, with what he's working with, we know, as you said, we're about 5 players away. But look who's also brought in. Look who's brought in, and people have just reamed him for Ramsdale. How much crap are people getting for Ramsdale and White? I can't believe you spend that money on White. And now look at, they're all very quiet.
You were on the show with me and Kev and someone else, and then again with Seaton from the Dan Patrick show and the bearded Gooner, and you were very staunch on Arteta from day one. So I just like to kind of call things as I see them. And right now, I can't sit here and rip my team. I'm not going to do that because they don't deserve it, you know. And the difference is as well is like, okay, when you see Cedric, but you know that we need a better Cedric in that position. You see Xhaka, but you know you need a better Xhaka in that position. You know, you see Lacazette, and you know you need a better Lacazette in that position. It's not that you don't appreciate what they're doing right now for this particular Arsenal team at this particular time. It's just that we know that if we're going to compete with this Liverpool team we played today, we absolutely need those upgrades. Speaking of upgrades, JJ, what about this fella, Mr. Thomas Partey?
How good has this guy been, Lily? This is Atletico Madrid Thomas for us right now. My God, I mean, we've been waiting for this. Oh my God, I give him at least an 8. He was awesome. I mean, just when you lose the ball, he win it right back for us. You know, he stick that toe in, poke it right back to us. He's making passes. He was doing what he was supposed to. I mean, I'm really excited about him. You know, I'll be first to admit I was really nervous if he's going to reach that potential that he had at Atletico, and he's there, and he's getting better, and he's getting better under Arteta, 100%. And I'm excited. So I'm giving him an 8 for this game, and I'm really excited about where he's coming.
Yeah, and you know, I think partly why. I ripped him to shreds like a couple of weeks ago. I talk about learn my own lessons and learn from what I say. And we all do that as the season goes on. I think that if you bake the million humble pies, there wouldn't be enough to go around. He's been great since he's come back from AFCON. He's been a leader. He's stepped up. He's put the team on his shoulders. And I think that in this particular Arsenal team, when you can see, Kev's been saying it all along, when he gets the right partner, when he gets his guy beside him, you're going to see the best of him even. And today I just thought that he was the best thing about kind of the midfield going forward other than Martinelli. But he just didn't have the support around him today. And that goes to this guy who we've lauded and loved for the last few games. But partly, I think, why we lost that control in the second half was, as much as Martin's been so good, JJ, in the last few matches, felt like today he wasn't at his best. But these are the games, again, where you want these players to shine. What's your take on Odegaard today?
You know, I think actually, I mean, it wasn't clearly his best game, wasn't his worst. I think they had a game plan around him. They really did. I feel like they wanted to close him down. I mean, when he got that ball in the middle, he had 3 guys around him. I mean, I felt like he really couldn't even pick his head up to look. It could have been better. He did hustle though, man. I was actually saying like he's like an Ozil who hustles. Honestly, it's pretty crazy. But I'll give him a 6. He could have been better, but I do think that Liverpool had a game plan just for him. To really close him down the middle. They have 3 guys surrounding him. He touched that ball, they were on him. And their game plan worked really against him, and it showed today. So I'll give him a 6.
I'm going to completely agree with you and leave it at that. I think that he was so well marked today. I was talking to my cousin during the match, and we were both saying, man, he can't get on the ball. When he does get on the ball, he's surrounded and swamped. They knew that if they could stop him, they would stop us. And they did that really, really well. But regardless, I still think he had good moments where he was. Lacazette was off today for me. It was hard because there was no pace up front other than Martinelli. Saka wasn't in it. Laka wasn't in it. And I think that made Odegaard's job a little bit more difficult. Plus, as I said, like he was just completely suffocated. So for me, he gets a 7 today, healthy 7. Okay, let's move to our golden boy, who again has been, just an absolute god at the Arsenal of late. Not his best game for me, JJ. What about you?
Same. He's a 6 today. He's tired. I mean, I think you mentioned earlier, he looked tired today. Didn't really want to take people on. Just sort of was there. Did nothing special. Not that he needs to do something special every game, but he wasn't even trying to do something special today. I mean, it did not look like he really wanted to attack or do much. And I think you know the head. I just think he was really tired today. And what we're used to, we did not get. So
I think also it's okay to. I think a lot of people are afraid to criticize Saka because he's so special and he's such a good kid. But the praise has to be as loud as the criticism. And again, not going to kill him. We've all said that he looks like, he could use a break. But at the same time, we haven't really been playing a lot of football that consistently. We've got a lot of matches that are coming into condensed time, JJ. So I think, do you rest him against Villa? Do you give Pepe a shot to come out? Just was an off day for him. He saved us for so long. And I agree, he was timid today. That's a really good way of putting it, Oisin. Very timid, very slow. He just wasn't on it. So for me, Saka gets a 5.5 today. Unfortunately, it just wasn't his match, and he'll be disappointed because he tried. So yeah, I will give him a 5. Okay, Odegaard. We did Odegaard. Martinelli.
10. I mean, I don't think anyone that watched that game's not going to say a 10. He was the best player on the pitch by miles. Trent will not sleep for probably about 3 days because he's going to be having nightmares of Martinelli coming at him. So, and we know Trent's one of the best defenders in the world, probably, honestly. And he made him look like an amateur. So, this kid was fantastic. I mean, you want to talk about the future? They need, and I know that he said he wants to be at Arsenal forever. I hope that's true. We need to just make sure we're locking these young boys up. But how fun was he to watch today? I know we lost 2-0. How fun was this guy to watch today? He made this game so fun.
Oh my gosh, that skinning in the second half where he took on literally the entire Liverpool team. It was unbelievable. And I don't know what it is. He loves a game against Liverpool, doesn't he? Even if we don't play well, it's a team that I think I like it. He steps up not only in regular games, but he is a player that we've seen that can step up in a really big game. Nobody was on his level today. Everyone was too slow. He was passing the ball. He was dribbling. He had moments where he could play someone in. Lacazette looked like he was absolutely gassed. Saka the same.
Right.
And unfortunately, at the end there, he deserved that goal and he just pushed it a little bit wide. What a player, what a talent that we have on our hands. He was the bright spark and the thing that made me smile at the end of the match. So for me, Martinelli gets a 9. You know, you want team performance, but sometimes, JJ, there's this singular magic performance. And he had it today. And if only everyone had his energy and his technical ability today, I think we would have done a lot better. All right, Lacazette.
Yeah, he was disappointing today. And then he was left on way too long, which obviously isn't his fault. I mean, I'm going to give him a 5, maybe a 4. You weren't getting that normal Lacazette. He wasn't fighting for the ball. He looked every single time that he didn't have a good pass to him, he was super frustrated. There's that. I mean, normally you see him in our defensive half a lot of the game helping out. Didn't really see him there. Again, I guess he's tired, or exhausted. But we, that's where I guess Arteta really needs to recognize that. Maybe take him off a half and, throw Pepe up there, give him a chance, so he can finish. But so I'm going to go with a 5. He just was very blah, just blah.
Did you see there was a moment in the second half, I think it was with a little bit over, maybe at the 20-minute mark, he did this in the middle
I didn't see that.
Yeah, in the middle of the pitch. And squaddies, let me know if you saw the same thing. And I felt like he was actually being asked to be substituted, and he did not get substituted. I think this is, where in a game where it's a tough one for Arteta to manage against such a prolific side and a very, very smart manager. He should have bought Lacazette off earlier. Whether or not he brought Eddie on, whether he shifted Martinelli in the middle, whether he then brought ESR on, subbed Saka, put Pepe on the right. I just felt like this was the type of game where he should have just gone for broke off. You know what I mean? Like when we go 2-0 down, make the changes. With 25 minutes to go, we've got nothing to lose at this point. We're already losing 2-0. We held on for as long as we could. So, it seemed like he was asking for a sub. So once he did not, Eddie started warming up, I mean, I felt like he was asking to, I don't know if he was carrying something or whatever, and he did. He had an opportunity today. I think he gets a 5. I love him, and I'm not going to sit here and try and like overscore him when he doesn't deserve it. All right, you guys, here we go. The subs. Pepe and Eddie. I mean, we could do all these 3 together. I would have liked Pepe to come on earlier. I would have liked to have seen what he and Martinelli could have done together against this particular Liverpool team when Saka was struggling on that side. What's your thought?
Oh, I'll give him like a 4. I thought he was awful.
Pepe?
I thought so. Now this is why. We're down 2-0, and you get the ball. So you see a Martinelli get the ball. He's attacking a player. He's going right at you. Our team's catching up with him. In a sense, he'll cut it back, and they're running up. He's at halfway line. He just cuts back and is looking backwards to pass back again. I'm like, you're our most gifted player probably on the ball, and that's why. I mean, I think everyone says that in training, correct? He didn't want to attack today at all. I mean, I felt like, I'm like, dude, we are down 2. We put you in to get goals, and you are not going. You're not going towards the goal. I feel like he just kept stopping, passing back. So I'm like, you're not on there to do that. Let Saka do that. That's what he does, not you. You need to look at Martinelli, attack these players. Dude, you're so gifted. But I just feel like he's going against Liverpool. His confidence just gets shot, and he's like nervous to go at these players. That's just what I feel like I saw. I know people might thought he did. I don't think he did. I mean, I didn't even realize he's on the pitch, honestly, when they kept giving him the ball. He just passed it right away.
So you give him a 3?
A 3. I think he made 0 impact to that game when he came on. 0.
Well,
to me. Yeah, I know you'll probably think very different, but.
Yeah, no. I actually, to me, he's the type of player that needs more time,
I agree. I agree with him. Let him get into a game.
Especially against a team like this. He can come on and affect the game with a lesser talented team, but I think that in a game like this, Pepe needs to either start or he needs to come on with a little bit more time. So for me, I'll give him a 5. You know, he didn't have enough time to affect the game. And once again...
But he knows how much time he has when he comes on. So you got to... I mean, he's a professional. Get going. Get in. Go for it. You know, it's like... I don't know. He just... gosh, because when he plays well, he is so dangerous.
Yeah.
He's scary. Yeah. He's scary good. But then he loses confidence, so... But yeah.
Sianda says Nketiah gets a 10 for actually still being at the club.
I agree.
I just also realized that my microphone has not been plugged in this whole time. So hopefully the sound has been okay. Maybe Mark
I've been hearing
MK
you well.
Can let me know. Okay. All right, cool. No urgency with the subs. Very disappointing, says Gooner Rose. They actually looked like they had played 90 minutes. Terrible. Patrick says Eddie should have come on earlier, would have given Martinelli alternatives. Terence says, if we play like this against Liverpool with a couple more quality additions, we'll be beating Liverpool in future fixtures. Can't argue with that. Demsek, the difference between the two sides is Liverpool took their chances and Arsenal didn't. Said that at the top of the show, Demsek, like if that Odegaard chance goes in, if Lacazette takes one of his, you know, at that point it's a totally different game. Pepe cannot play hugging the line. He needs to play near the box, and Liverpool won't give him that opportunity. Let's see. Sko says people slating Saka, who gets marked 3-4 plays, and then they praise Pepe. It can't be anything but agenda. I don't know if that's true. You know, I mean, we've praised Saka. He was marked by 4 or 5 players when we played City, and we praised him because he did well. So, you know, it's interesting in terms of how we see things in certain games with certain players. JJ, ESR and Eddie.
So ESR, I give ESR a 7. He came on, attacked. He's doing stuff in the box. He, you know, him and Saka actually. I thought they were going to like sort of take over that game right when he came on, but you could tell Saka was just too tired. But he was driving the ball. He was trying to make plays. You know, unfortunately, it just didn't happen today. Liverpool, you know, they boxed in and they just weren't letting us through. And again, we were trying to pass through them at the end too, and they had all 11 players back there. So I liked his energy. He came on. He tried to make it happen when our team was flat-footed. So I'll give him a 7. And Eddie,
before you get to Eddie, do you think that Emile Smith-Rowe now has to start against Aston Villa? Do you think that? I always say it's not broke. If it's not broke, don't try and fix it, JJ. But do you also think that sometimes when a game like this happens against a team like Liverpool, don't panic. There's no need to panic. But maybe Emile Smith-Rowe should be given a bit of a shot in the next match. What's your thoughts on that?
It all depends on if Odegaard or Saka are fit enough. They're tired. Give him the start. If they're not, you stick with those top 3, with the 3 Martinelli and Saka. I mean, Saka is 100%. You're not. I don't care. You're not taking him off for anyone. What that kid can do, and it is a great. We haven't had this problem in a while. I feel. You know, like we're like, man, because Emile should be starting. He'd start almost on any other team. You know, maybe not 2 others, but he should be on there. But again, the other guys are just playing at high levels, and I think he got hurt, correct? So that rotation, he just has to wait to, you know, get his chance again to start.
You know what? For me with Villa have really they're a good team. Midfield going forward, they can be very dangerous, right? Mm-hmm. But I do think they have vulnerabilities at the back. Tyrone Mings, he's as tall and as big as he is. He's very, how can I say this, clumsy with his feet sometimes. And in this particular match, Kevin always worries about players like Pepe and Martinelli playing through the middle, JJ, because, you know, Pepe's very slight. Martinelli, I think, is stronger, but he's still small, right? You don't want to play like him getting injured. But maybe what I would do is, this may be the game where I say throw Martinelli down the middle, play Emile Smith-Rowe on the left, maybe give Saka a bit of a rest and start Pepe on the right. Shock Villa a little bit, you know. Why don't we try and do that in a sense? And some fans might think I'm crazy, but I would approach this game like that. Either start Saka, but bring Pepe on much earlier in the game if we need to. So yeah. And Eddie, we were going to go on to next.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie came on, he hustled a little bit. Again, Eddie doesn't do much for me. He's a striker that can't finish. So, I think he had one good game, one of those cup games where he had a hat trick and everyone got high on him again. And, it's like a lady who gives birth. They forget the pain, so they have another kid. This guy is not good. He's not a good player. He's not ours. I mean, it's sort of sad that's our second option. It's like, I just think he's not quality. I'm sorry. I'll give him like a 5. I mean, I forgot he was on the pitch too, to tell you the truth. I think I saw him running a couple times. That's about it.
Yeah, I had an argument with my cousin on the phone, and I just said, look, I got to go because I can't deal with this. Like, seriously, you're going to bring on Eddie to affect the game. And listen, I don't blame Arteta in the sense that what are his other choices. However, you can maybe take a bit more of a risk. You're 2-0 down against a world-class team. Either put Pepe up front, see if that works for 15 minutes, or put Martinelli up front, put Emil Smith-Rowe on the other side. We don't know if Emil Smith-Rowe's fully recovered from his sickness. Of course, these things have to be taken into consideration, but when he's the only option for the Arsenal Football Club, this is where, the manager, the hierarchy have to put their money where their mouths are. This is where we could end up losing those inches in that top 4 race because of our lack of quality. And, JJ, if our best 11 isn't starting, we're in trouble, right? So when Ben White went in for that tackle at the end, I was like, I love that. What a great tackle. But then it was like, oh my God, has he done his hammy in? You lose players like that, we're in trouble. So for me, I agree. A lot of the comments coming in are that he's a championship player at best. It's a shame that he doesn't have it. Just because you come through the ranks, it doesn't mean it's going to work out. Actually, my cousin's name is George, not Nicholas. But nice try, very good. Sell Eddie, absolutely, Terence. There, we agree on that one. Mm-hmm. What's your mark for the gaffer?
I mean, I think honestly, I'll give Arteta like a 7 today. Technical, I think at the first half he had it right. Second half it was going not really the way we wanted, but I still felt like okay, we're still in this, we got this. And then unfortunately for him, Ramsdale made that mistake. Ben White pushed him almost to the damn freaking to the line. And he sneaks in near post. So, and then the energy got sucked out there, which, he only could do so much to get his team back and going at that point at the, 65th minute or I think 65th minute. So I think he had it. We missed our chances, again, not his fault. He set it up the right way, I feel. And I'll give him a 7, I don't think you're nearly higher than that. We lost 2-0, but at home. But I would not put this on Arteta. The one thing I will say, though, is that I did predict all his subs, and that wasn't good. I'm like, because he's been doing that week after week, I feel. I'm like, oh, it's so predictable what he's about to do. But as you just said, those are our options, right? What else is he supposed to do in reality? Besides try Pepe up front for 15 or something like that. But it was very predictable at that point. But I still think he did okay, so I'll give him a 7.
Yeah. Dull Square, first half FC, you say that. And remember, I haven't been Arteta's biggest fan, but, in the Leicester game, we were amazing in the second half. He's been great with his halftime team talks. I don't think that we can criticize him for that. Can it just be that we lost to a much better side and a manager who's been winning the Premier League and the Champions League? And also done exceptionally well at Dortmund. He lost to a more experienced manager. I actually thought...
Okay, how's that, kids? I think basically my mic went at the same time as JJ's, and so therefore we probably broke your ears completely, both of us. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, at the end of the day, how's that right now? Because we're going to check out anyway. So back online. There we go. Okay, we're all good. Everyone's ears okay? I'm so sorry. We should give you all a snack or some type of treat for that. I know the Yeti is just killing me dead. Hey JJ.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. It's like a siren sound going off. So I didn't know if you could hear it, so I wanted to jump off. I apologize.
Yeah, no, I just blew everyone's eardrums off apparently. So, okay, that's it. I don't think we have JJ. Anything else to add?
No, I think honestly, there's a lot more positives today than negatives. That's all I got to say. It's hard to see that with 2-0 loss, but again, look who we played. And there's a lot of positives to look at that. So I'm excited for the near future and the future of Arsenal.
Excellent. Well, look, guys, I hope you can still hear me. I do apologize for the sound buggery. I think it's been great lately, but once again, the new wire from the old Yetis, we screwed you. What's your mark for it screwed you? What's your mark for the fans today?
They're good until we got that goal scored on us, and then we lost. The atmosphere seemed great there. It just, you can't blame them. We put so much energy, the fans, everyone put energy, and then once that crappy goal went in, it just sort of killed all of us, I feel. So I'll always give the fans a 10 at Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, I loved how they were singing with the North Bank, with the North Bank, with the North Bank, Highbury, with the East Stand. You know what's interesting this evening is we lost to Liverpool, and I think a lot of people were expecting it. We usually have like 1,000 people in live chat after a game, whether we win, lose, or draw. And tonight we had like 500 odd people. So I wonder if everyone's just taking a beat, taking a breather, in the sense that, we wanted to win. Our hearts said one thing, our heads said another. And it's just one of those games that on this long list of fixtures that we have coming, JJ, that, we knew maybe a 0, hoping for a 1 or a 3. But in the end, we just didn't have enough. And, that's where we want to be as a club. That's where we want to get to,
Right. It's a much better feeling than saying, I hope we don't get smashed 4-0 by Liverpool. That wasn't in my head at all. I'm like, man, we have a chance to win today. Let's go.
Yeah. And I think most of us were really looking forward to the match. And once again, great atmosphere. Absolutely. Fans get a 100 out of 10 today. I agree with Phoebe. The fans have been absolutely behind the squad this season, have done a phenomenal job. Hey, there's no shame in losing to a team that could win the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the League Cup. They've got that one in the bag already. Yes. And I will leave now so I don't kill your ears anymore, and we will figure out this mic issue. JJ, let everyone know where they can find you.
At the Vacation JJ on Instagram and Twitter. Come yell at me, scream at me, whatever you got to do. Happens all the time. I enjoy it. So, but let's go Gunners, and come on, let's go. We're okay. Top 4, baby. We got it.
All right. We'll be back live tomorrow night with Super Kevin Campbell, and filmmaker Kyle Newman will be joining us as our special guest as well. In the meantime, take care, everyone, no matter where in the world you may be. Stay safe, be healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow night. At ease, everyone. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad. Sorry about the mic, everyone. I really do apologize about that. Won't happen again.